Wonderful week so far. Today we're going to be talking about Hedera Hashgraph HBAR and how governments are essentially looking to utilize it. We're going to be focusing in this one on what the Swiss Army is doing along with wisekey and how this may involve Hedera Hashgraph. Now there is a may in there because they don't specifically mention Hedera Hashgraph. But what they're doing is leveraging wisekey technology, which leverages Hedera Hashgraph to essentially enable IoBT, Internet of Battlefield Things, which is extremely interesting. The news just keeps pouring for Hedera Hashgraph, and this is very much testimony to what we've been saying for years now, and that is how Hedera is very well positioned to engulf the world as far as distributed ledger technology is concerned. It's very fit for purpose. It's much of a Swiss army knife, as it were. It can do many things and has many applications. And this, of course, is one that we've seen be an application. wisekey use it for kind of secure data for a quantum-proof element, which we'll be recapping on. And actually, this also speaks to a paper that was published by NASA on Hedera Hashgraph-based distributed ledgers for aerospace applications. And we're going to tie all that in. But this has been a huge week thus far. We covered how Accenture have essentially partnered with Nebius to essentially leverage Hedera along with NVIDIA and what they're doing for kind of AI. And this is very much in line with all of that. I mean, this kind of digital world really is being enabled by players such as Hedera because AI becomes far more enhanced. Let's kick things off with what inspired me to make this video. This is from Carlos Cruyas Moreira, who is the founder and CEO of wisekey and SealSQ. If you're not familiar, we will make you by the end of this. wisekey is to develop quantum secure satellites for Swiss Army. Extremely interesting. This is the official press release, and this is from it inside IT. wisekey to develop quantum safe satellites for the Swiss Army. Now this is very interesting. The collaboration with wisekey is part of the Swiss Army's ambitious overall space concept. The Swiss Army has been collaborating with Geneva-based company wisekey since 2022 to develop particularly secure communication technology. This includes, amongst other things, a specially ruggedized mobile phone. According to wisekey, research and development in the field of small satellites and mission tests have also been conducted since 2022, including in the area of the Internet of Battlefield Things. Now, we're all familiar with IoT, the Internet of Things. This is a new one to me. And low Earth orbit IoT, i.e. an IoT network based on satellites in low Earth orbit. wisekey has announced that it has further intensified its collaboration with the military. The goal is to develop a zero-trust network, interesting, in orbit with end-to-end encryption that will also be protected against decryption by future quantum computers. We know that Hedera Hashgraph is Byzantine fault tolerant, which essentially makes it post-quantum computer kind of ready. This so-called quantum security is to be achieved by integrating post-quantum compatible chips from wisekey's subsidiary, SealSQ, and wisekey's Swiss root of trust technology into the IoT satellite. Now, we'll talk about wisekey satellite powered by SealSQ, next generation post-quantum security successful launch to orbit by SpaceX. How this, of course, leverages Hedera. We will talk about this, and we'll also talk a little bit about SealSQ or Sealcoin. Project leverages Hedera's DLT, invites IoT companies to perform proof of concepts for transactions, which sounds very much like what's going on here, without explicitly mentioning Hedera. Perhaps there's reasoning behind that. Anyway, finish the article off. It says, overall concept of space. Several years ago, the Swiss Army began incorporating space into its considerations for further defense strategies and technologies. At the beginning of October, the Federal Council approved a very comprehensive overall space concept for the Army. This includes not only secure satellite-based communications, but also other capabilities that are to be in place by the mid-2030s. For example, the Army wants to know exactly what's happening in near-Earth space and be able to observe troop movement and weather from there, as well as provide precise navigation data. Hedera is very good at providing immutable data. Furthermore, measures are to be developed to protect troops from space-based reconnaissance and to be able to disrupt and restrict enemy space-based systems. So, a really interesting thing here is that NASA actually published a paper essentially talking about Hedera Hashgraph in the use of aerospace applications. It was all really sort of centered around satellites, things like this. NASA needs distributed ledger technology to manage increasingly complex systems. The technical objectives speaks about help service DAP CTEN will create a quick solution to NASA's model-based system engineering challenge utilizing the existing Hedera network and decentralized application DAP for file services through our vendor. The DAP will be tailored to NASA's specific needs and be at the TRL range of 5 at the end of phase 1. The Space Mission Management DAP, CTEN DAP developed will use consensus service to track asset match and negotiate supply chain resources for group and space ops and could be at TRL of 3 or 4 by the end of phase 1. So this is just a sort of summary, the NASA application, what they're looking to do. This was actually published by NASA and how they're looking to leverage Hedera Hashgraph for aerospace. It's interesting what they're looking to do, the Swiss government. It's also very interesting what wisekey are doing. And I believe this actually mentions SealSQ. wisekey Sealcoin project leverages Hedera's DLT, invites IoT companies to perform proof of concepts for transactional IoT technology. A leader in cybersecurity, AI, blockchain, and IoT, operating as a holding company, is inviting companies to participate in a groundbreaking machine-to-machine POC for its innovative IoT technology, codename project Sealcoin. This POC aims to showcase the transformative potential of Sealcoin by demonstrating the disintermediation of service providers in interconnected devices, allowing them to communicate and transact autonomously. The result is a streamlined process that enhances efficiency, reduces costs, and creates more seamless IoT ecosystem. At the core of this POC is the use of cutting-edge technology embedded with semiconductor devices, which autonomously validates and verifies transactions. Sealcoin features a secure element and embedded secure hardware that protects the private key and certificates representing each device's unique identity, leveraging elliptic curve cryptography compatible with Hedera's decentralized ledger technology. These devices can simultaneously authenticate and sign transactions on-chain, ensuring security and transparency in real time. Carlos himself, who made the announcement of the sort of Swiss Army, says Sealcoin's POC is a major milestone in the journey towards enhancing the capabilities of our IoT technology. We're excited about our plan of delivering the MVP later this year and continuing to explore new possibilities that will further advance our mission of creating safer, more interconnected world as Sealcoin leverages Hedera's robust DLT infrastructure, known for its high-performance security and stability. This project is set to set new standards in the IoT landscape. Now, it's important for me to make sure that people know this. The Swiss Army, or this announcement, doesn't specifically mention Hedera, but it mentions wisekey, it mentions Sealcoin, or SealSQ, which notoriously, in the exact use case that the Swiss Army is looking to conduct with wisekey, leverages Hedera. Now, that doesn't mean that they are leveraging Hedera here. It perhaps implies something, as it were, and it's important for me to make sure people remember that. If we look here, wisekey satellite powered by SealSQ next generation post-quantum security. Remember, this is what they're using, sort of SealSQ as security. Post-quantum security successfully launched to orbit by SpaceX. It says here, a leading global cybersecurity AI and IoT company alongside the subsidiaries WiseSat.Space and SealSQ Corp today announced that the successful launch of its next generation WiseSat satellite equipment with cutting-edge post-quantum ready security and SealSQ's semiconductors. The satellite was launched by SpaceX aboard a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket from the Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. This historic event marks a milestone in the advancement of quantum resilience technology. The satellite is part of WiseSat's initiative to provide real-time secure IoT connectivity via constellation of post-quantum ready satellites, further demonstrating the viability of post-quantum cybersecurity in space environments. Remember what the Swiss Army are looking to do. WiseSat has announced its plans to launch an additional 5 next-generation satellites in 2025. Each satellite will feature incremental advancements by SealSQ in post-quantum cryptography and secure communication technologies, further solidifying the company's leadership in satellite-based IoT solutions. Additionally, the satellite features wisekey's WiseID identity management system, a platform for authenticating connected devices, and Hedera Hashgraph's distributed ledger technology to provide a decentralized framework for maintaining data integrity and transparency across networks. So I thought this was interesting because not only do you have the NASA paper, you have the previous work that wisekey and Sealcoin and SealSQ have been doing and how they've been leveraging Hedera. And now the Swiss National Army is looking to leverage these companies that leverage Hedera to essentially enable a kind of space force, as it were. And I think this just solidifies really the important nature of this technology. Certainly how well positioned Hedera Hashgraph is to actually enable all of that. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it from me. I'm going to love and leave you all on that note. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.